My wife got pregnant with our first child. I was so excited, so excited. It's my firstborn, whatever. And then 6 months, first, second, third. By the third week, my wife went into labor. Hey, I said, honey, but I thought they say it's 9 months. Yes. So why are you in labor? So we took her to the hospital. Before I realized she had delivered a baby. When I saw the baby, hey, an anointed man of God, preacher. My baby was like a frog, small like this. My baby was weighing 1.6 kilos. And you know the painful part? Chapa, do you know the painful part? The painful part was that when I was walking from the ward where my wife was to the incubator, I was walking past young girls who have delivered twins, triplets. They didn't have wedding food there. And I, the anointed man of God, ordained with a collar. My baby is 6 months, 3 weeks, 1.6 kilos. And then, you know, because I was a young guy and I've never seen a preterm baby before, when I went, there was an incubator and they have covered it with some blanket. Then they removed it to expose my baby. When I saw my baby, I said, hey. The doctor could see the shock on my face. So he said, oh, Reverend, don't worry, the baby will be fine. I said, how can he be fine? So when I went down, my wife said, how is the baby? I said, God will give us another baby. God will give us another baby. Because this one is so bad. Very small. When I went home, my mother said, so how is she? I said, she's fine. How is the baby? I said, ma, my wife has delivered something to the baby, like an animal. Yeah. Have you seen a 6-month-old baby? It's like an animal. Very small, very tiny, with juice. I said, oh no, this one cannot be my baby. I'm a prayerful man of God, anointed, ordained with clerical. I had a wedding. I did knocking, engagement, and wedding. So I was supposed to have a full-term baby. And that is what God gave me. A tiny 1.6. Children are born 3.5 kilos, 4 kilos, and mine is 1.6. My mother, oh, I love my mother. She did her best. After 4 months, the baby was in the incubator for 3 months or so. Then we brought the baby out, everything, and then the baby became well. Oh, everything was normal and everything. And then a year later or 2 years later, my wife got pregnant again. I was excited, very happy. My second born. Okwawa, 6 months, 3 weeks. Again, I said, honey, what's wrong with your womb? What's wrong with your womb? Affliction shall not come to us a second time, but it came to us a second time. And this time it was 1.4 kilos smaller, tiny. I was very depressed. I was very grieved. I was very sorrowful. And this one, he stayed in the incubator for like 4 months. Came out. It took my son 3 years to walk. It took him 10 years to read. He was always last at the class. Anytime he's in school, his thumb is in his mouth. I want my mommy. So I will call my wife from the bank. Honey, come. The boy is crying. The gap between his ear and his nose didn't form well. So he had a discharge in the ears all the time. And he was in pain all the time. He was permanently in pain. We don't sleep in the house. He was always crying. He won't go to school. He was always last. I have to still preach every Sunday. I have to go to church. I have to do missions. I remember when I brought my second born to the house, that same we were at the Boise crusade. The team has left, so I went to Kolibu, brought them to the house, and left for Boise the same day because I was the preacher, and left for Boise missions. You see what Boise was? Yeah. And when I was leaving, my wife was crying because she was carrying the baby, and I was leaving there. After they've come from the hospital, I went to the hospital with somebody's car, and I brought them home. And the car that was to take to Boise was already parked outside. I said, honey, I have to do missions. You know that I'm the preacher, so stay here. This is my mother. Everything you did is here, so I'm going. My wife was crying, carrying our small baby, suffering. And I went to enjoy because that time Stanley was the missions director. He has already gone ahead and come and said, am I coming? Because I'm the one preaching the night. We drove all the way to Obuasi. When I got to Obuasi, I went to my retreat. I was the evangelist. I was on the platform preaching. When I had brought my preterm, my small baby back to the house, it was nowhere. And hiding the sick, casting out devils, and prophesying to people. Testimonies. Anguish, sorrow, pain, stress, affliction. It's all part of the calling. Say amen. Helen, this my boy was the last in his class. So I stopped looking at his report because I know what was in the report. It's last. And whenever I travel abroad, I buy them toys. Police car, whatever car. So this time I bought them a flying aeroplane with a remote. So my son was playing with the aeroplane. Then he dropped the aeroplane and came to me. Daddy. I said, yeah, I want to be a pilot. I said, really? Go and play with the toy like that. You're far away from being a pilot. Piloting, they want people like this. But you. When he has a party and they put a candle, they say, happy birthday to you. Elon, blow your candle. He'll be standing there. Then his friends will blow the candle for him. Because his brain doesn't register information well. So he is slow in processing his information. When you say, Elon, there's a water bottle in the hall. Elon, go and bring it. Then he will come. I can't find it. I said, but the thing is sitting there. I didn't see it. When they are doing musical chairs, the music will stop. My son will still be dancing. And all the seats are taken. So when he's looking for the seat, all the seats are taken. They say, you are out. You start crying and sack everybody from the house. He couldn't process information because of the way he was born. So I said to myself, just go through the school and know how to write your name and write English. He went to a high school, whatever, and then they were asking everybody, what do you want to do? This one, I want to be a lawyer. This one, I want to be a doctor. This one, I want to be an engineer. Then they came to my son, what do you want to do? He said, I want to be a pilot. The class laughed at him. Then the teachers, 3 of them, I can remember clearly, they came to my office here to tell me that they want to see me. I said, okay. They said, about your son. I said, yeah, what about my son? Your son, his brain is slow. I said, I know that. Are you coming to remind me that my son is slow? I know my son is slow. He's always last in class. What's your problem? And they say he wants to be a pilot. Yeah, he's daydreaming. So what's your problem? He said, we want to discourage him from becoming a pilot. I said, yeah, there's no need. Just let the boy go to school. There's nothing we can do. Then when they left, then a voice spoke. I said, yeah, there's no need. Just let the boy go to school. There's nothing we can do. Then when they left, then a voice spoke to me. But with God, nothing shall be impossible. Hey! But with God, nothing shall be impossible. Came home, called my son, laid hands on him. But with God, nothing shall be impossible. But with God, nothing shall be. I say, Elo, you shall become a pilot. I started laying hands on him. I've lost the number of times I've laid hands on my son. Then his grades started changing. His brain started working. He started whatever. He applied for a piloting school in Dubai. He passed the exams. They sent him there for interview. They asked him 350 questions about himself. He scored 90%. They took him in the piloting school. He came back. When they stayed there, there were 182 students. Only 4 came out as pilot. My son was one of the 4. From a premature child. Oh, are you listening to me? I said, no matter your challenges, you are also called. No matter your challenges, you are also called. This my son went to the UK, finished, went to the US. This coming month, September, October, he is now will be qualified as a commercial pilot. From zero, from the bottom. Not even knowing how to blow a candle. You know, one day he was talking. I said, oh, this your friend, I don't see him around again. So daddy is too slow. I said, you are calling somebody too slow? Now his brain is like this. He passed out as a private pilot. When he passed out as a private pilot, I said, well, no, you didn't send me the video that you have passed out as a private. So that's not what I want to do. I want to be commercial. I don't want to fly a private jet. I want to commercial. I was surprised. The brain matter. Situations, everything changed. Now my son is a preacher. He's preaching. He's preaching. People gather. He has never been to Bible school before. He's a preacher. They are inviting him to preach, and he's sharing his testimony to other people, to encourage people. Sharing his testimony. Sharing his testimony. Don't allow anybody to look down upon your calling. And below, there is suffering in the call. All of us have stories. Stanley has a story. I also have my story. Keto has a story. Keto had a beautiful wife. The wife died. Some of you don't know that Keto had a wife before. You don't know. Keto, he had a wife with 3 children, married here. Had the first child, second child, the third, and the third child was in the wife's womb when the wife became sick and delivered the wife, and then she died. Delivered the child, and then she, the mother, died. Keto was here for about 5 years without a wife. Is it 5 years? Keto was here 5 years without a wife, sitting there, the same place, buried his wife, read his own tribute here, in pain, in tears, reading the wife's tribute when the wife was laying here. There is suffering, there is adversities, there is pain in fulfilling the call of God. So what are you going through? What challenges are facing you for which you want to stop serving God? We are not only called to believe in him, we are also called to suffer for his sake.